Phillies hit the road for their final long road trip of the 2017 season. They brought with them some of their Phillies fans. Yep, they're here in South Florida getting a chance to see this 4-game series between the Phils and the Miami Marlins, a team the Phillies just saw back home last week. In fact, the last series, the Marlins won 3 of 4, but the teams tied for the same amount of runs, close to the same amount of home runs. They tied with the extra base hits. Average with runners in scoring position. The Phillies had a better number. So how did they lose the game? Well, it came down to a little bit of pitching. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with John Kruk. Now, it came down to some other things as well. It came down to Giancarlo Stanton, who continued to add to his home run total against the Phillies. 7 home runs against the Phillies this year, and he had a pretty good week against the Phils the last time they saw each other.
Yeah, just a pretty good week. You know, we're talking about Rhys Hoskins and the historic run that he's on this early in his career, but there's no one on the planet hotter with the long ball than Giancarlo Stanton. Look at these numbers in the second half. 323 average, ho-hum, only 25 homers in 44 games, 52 RBI. You know, this is like Stratomatic numbers right here for Giancarlo Stanton. And the thing is, when you watch his display of power, first of all, those uniforms are the best ones for the Players Weekend. But there you see one to center field, right center field, you know, a little bit of pop the other way. Yeah, and then, you know, if you want to go to center field, yeah, I can do that too. That's not an issue. Oh, I need to pull one? Sure. Okay, I'll handle this one. The man can hit the ball out of the ballpark anywhere he decides he wants to. You pitch him away, he'll go to right. You pitch him in, he's pulling balls. Ben Lively is going to have to be exceptionally special against Giancarlo Stanton if we're going to win any games in this series.
All right, so this is the category he is in. Look at some of the names that he has joined for the home runs by the end of August. And again, he has one more day to go. That's today, to try to get his 19th home run here in the month of August. It has been a historical run for Giancarlo Stanton. The Phillies hope that history doesn't repeat itself here tonight in game number 1. It is the first of this 4-game series. Lively will indeed get the baseball. He's got some family members that have made the 11-hour drive from the Panhandle to come down and see him pitch. Despaigne making his first start against the Phillies, his second appearance in the 2017 season. Well, Rhys Hoskins, where is he tonight? Well, he's back over at first base, so Tommy Joseph gets the day off. When we return, we'll head to the CSN studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. Arrived late last night. The Marlins the same, because they were taking on the Washington Nationals. Mickey Morandini having a conversation with Greg Murphy as we speak in the dugout. They're just going over what Murph's hits are for tonight. There's Pete Buchanan. Pete found out today that the Phillies picked up Juan Nicasio from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He'll be here tomorrow and will be in the bullpen for the Phils as he takes a look at his lineup card for tonight's ball game. The umpires have already taken the lineup cards from Don Mattingly and Juan Samuel. Just a few moments ago, Brian Gorman is the crew chief, and he's got the plate tonight. It's a veteran umpiring crew with the exception of the second base umpire, Roberto Ortiz. Well, Despaigne is finally ready, and he is heading out to the mound. Ben Lively heading back in from the bullpen after finishing up his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup for tonight. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Cesar leads it off at second base, then Freddie Galvis and Nick Williams. Rhys Hoskins is at first base again tonight. Daniel Nava making the start in left field. Maikel Franco's at third base batting sixth. At the bottom third of Floribone, Cameron Rupp, and Ben Lively. They will face Odrisamar Despaigne, the starting pitcher for the Marlins. He is out of La Habana, Cuba. 0-1 with an ERA of 3.70. This will be his third start of the year, and he started the last time he was out on the mound for the Marlins. We take a look at our Liberty Mutual Insurance player profile, and it gives you a little bit more of a thumbnail sketch on Despaigne. 80 major league games, 36 starts. His foreign career included games in Cuba, Mexico, and Venezuela. So he is a seasoned pitcher.
And well traveled, apparently. I guess from playing winter ball, I got kind of used to watching the players warm up. And I guess first 4 or 5 warm-up pitches, he was just, actually like he was playing catch with Real Muto. And
it was like Livan Hernandez.
Yeah, in his last couple, he decided, you know what, I'm going to work on my mechanics. And
let's take a look at our Nissan keys to the game for tonight.
Well, something that Ben Lively couldn't do in his last start against the Cubs. You have to keep the ball in the ballpark against this team. Make them beat you by trying to get multiple hits in an inning. And let's go offense. Boy, we struggled yesterday in a doubleheader against the Braves. We have got to throw some more points on the board to help our pitching staff out.
Yeah, that was a frustrating day yesterday, and the coaching staff felt the same way once the game came to a close. Cesar Hernandez 11 for 47 against the Marlins so far. 262 on the year. Phillies have a few guys that have had some good numbers against the Fish this year.
Well, apparently Despaigne a strike thrower. Cesar up there swinging first 2 pitches. Looked like he had 2 good pitches to hit too.
Cesar was 2 for 11 in the last series for the Phils. One ball and 2 strikes.
I don't recall Cesar's choking up that much with 2 strikes.
Same thing.
Maybe he learned something from Rizzo.
Well, again, if you haven't done it for a long period of time, does it take a little time to adjust to it?
I would think. Like I said, I understand the theory in choking up. I mean, if it's good enough to hit 2 strikes that way, shouldn't you hit the whole time like that?
That's a good point. That ball's drilled out to center field. Yelich goes back to the track and makes the catch. So 1 away here in the first.
Now, if he'd have been holding the bat down in the end, would that maybe hit it more off the barrel? And
was there ever a point where you tried to do it?
Never. I hurt my pinky finger when I was young playing basketball, and so I was never comfortable holding my pinky thumb on the bat. It was always underneath. From Little League, from Little League on to the day I walked away from the game, I hit like that, and I could never choke up.
Freddie Galvis takes a strike. Galvis 0 for 10 in this series against the Braves. Out in front. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is John Harker of Pemberton. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. John will win $300. McDonald's, enjoy an ice cold delicious soft drink for only $1. I'm loving it. That'll go foul up the third base line. It remains 0-2.
Yeah, I think we saw in that last series against the Braves, Freddie timing is wasn't real good. He wasn't picking up the ball well at all. It didn't seem like. That's why it resulted in a lot of fly balls.
There's a theory that maybe he is tired because he doesn't have any off days. He seems pretty spry. I mean, Matt Stair says he hits and he hits and he hits, and it's, you know, he's still the same. Fly ball is left field. It's a lazy fly ball.
He did that against the Braves often too.
So 2 outs, and that'll bring Nick Williams to the plate. This is not a 2-start show for Despaigne. He's here for the rest of the season as a starter. You know, they're bringing up a minor league pitcher to pitch in tomorrow's game. Don Mattingly was asked, well, you know, will you bring up another minor leaguer to pitch for Despaigne? And he said, well, no. He said, if he's effective, we're going to keep him in the rotation. Because this has been a rotation for the Marlins that has really been patched together.
Yeah, it has. Well, and they trade Kohler to Toronto, right?
Yeah. And even though he would get hit a lot, I was still surprised they would make that deal. But then again, at the time, they probably weren't thinking wild card.
Yeah, well, and, you know, Edinson Volquez has been hurt for, you know, right before the break and then right after the break, right? And then he got hurt again. He pitched 1 game against us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had another start, and I think he got hurt.
Williams fouls it away. No balls and 2 strikes to Nick Williams. Oh, a little bit of a quick pitch. You probably saw that all the time down in Mexico.
They did a lot of different things, yeah. And they went to the quick pitch, to Louis Tiant. I had one pitcher who used to throw me like an ephus ball.
Really?
Yeah. That was fun.
They're going to come inside to Williams, and he grounds another one foul, so an extended at bat.
Yeah, and that was a quick pitch too.
And a strike 3 call on the outside part of the plate. Despaigne retires the Phillies 1-2-3. And they're half of the first. On to the bottom of the first. Ben Lively will go to work. And he'll have to face Stanton when we come back. Don Mattingly, during the course of his career, had those kind of runs. So he kind of knows in a different sense what Stanton's going through. Let's take a look at the Marlins lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. So Stanton continues to bat number 2. And then Yelich and Ozuna. Don't sleep on Ozuna. He's not only hit well against the Phillies this year, but he's having an excellent year all the way around. And he'll back cleanup, and they'll face Ben Lively. Lively 1-5 on the year in the big leagues with a 4.39 earned run average. An 18-game winner last year in the minor leagues. And his first experience here, really full-time experience. And he delivers a fastball outside. It's 1-0.
Well, the one thing with Lively, you see the scattering report, 91.5 change curve slider. Hasn't won yet on the road, but you know, he is a competitor, and he's not afraid, but sometimes his command is a little lacking, and that's what you see right there. 3-0 to D. Gordon to start the inning. And you know, it don't take long for Don Mattingly to say, okay, you want our beast, he's coming up next.
There's a strike, and it's 3-1.
You know, some teams like us with Hoskins, you know, some like now you have to wait to the second inning for Despaigne sees him. Not with this team.
And there's ball 4. So Gordon draws a walk. So you have to keep an eye on him. 47 stolen bases this year. He has been caught a number of times, though. He's been caught 11 times. That brings Stanton to the plate. Somebody asked us the other day, has the attendance increased down here with Stanton doing what he's doing? And the answer is no, it hasn't. I don't know if it's increased. I mean, I don't know if it increased in Washington. They've been drawing well anyway. First pitch up high, and it's 1-0. He has hit 7 home runs this year against the Phillies. He's homered in 4 straight games against the Phils here in this ballpark. At a breaking ball, and it's 2-0. Oh, this is not the best of starts for Lively.
Well, no, because it doesn't get much easier after Stanton. With Yelich and Ozuna coming up. Ozuna already over 100 RBIs for the season.
Cameron Rupp is going to have to go out now and talk to Lively. I don't know if his slot's off or not. His velocity is fine. It's not anything but mechanical for him right now.
It seems like he's leading with his elbow and pushing the ball. Like he's trying to aim it instead of just turning it loose and throwing it. But it looks like he's getting underneath the ball, and that's why it's up and away to D. Gordon and a little bit into Stanton.
3 balls, no strikes to Stanton, who probably will have the green light here. Well, I shouldn't say probably. Gordon goes. The pitch is popped up way up there. I mean, that looked like it went through the rafters and came back down.
Thank you.
Franco makes the catch for the first out. I mean, D. Gordon was you can see his footprints. He was 2 steps from second base and then reversed field, was back at first base before the ball came down into the glove of Franco.
Yeah, that was, you know, big league pop-up, would you call it?
Yeah, it was. And it's in play, too, if it hits the roof.
Yeah. Well, we got lucky there. 3-0 count.
Got himself out.
Pitch to hit.
Christian Yelich is now the batter. He was 4 for. Ooh, nice play by Hoskins.
We've been scuffling with that part of the game, hadn't we, lately?
Really have.
I guess Reese didn't want that one in the game anymore.
No, he knows the tendencies.
Yeah, why throw it back to Lively? They're just going to ask him to throw it in, so we'll just cut out the middleman.
Speed up rules. Yelich overall 285 with 16 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Tried a changeup and it was outside, so it's 2-0. So he's fallen behind the first 3 hitters. 3-0, 3-0, 2-0. That was a good pitch.
It looks like he stayed on that one a little more.
I've talked to a bunch of pitchers before, younger pitchers, who say that they prefer to be a starter because sometimes you start a game like this, and if you're a reliever,
you're done.
You're done. But if you're a starter, you can kind of figure it out. as Galvis picks that one out of the air. 2 outs here in the first inning. And Marcell Ozuna's coming up. Well, that is a solid year across the board.
You ain't kidding.
An OPS over 900. 308 average, 31 homers, 103 runs batted in.
And over a month to go.
He is 4th in the league in RBIs behind Arenado, Stanton, Goldschmidt. All right, so he's fallen behind the first 4 batters.
First pitch strike ratio is not too good yet.
Not good. Honestly, 3rd pitch strike in the at bat is not that good. I'm surprised Gordon hasn't gone again, but maybe he's thinking.
Yeah, he's behind every hitter. And man, why run into an out? Might be going here though.
A little slide step, and it's 2-1.
Going now?
He's got to be going now.
I would hope, or I would not hope. I would think.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung on a miss. Throw to second base by Rupp is in time. And we'll see if the Marlins challenge it. Gordon's already walking off. Boy, Cameron Rupp's throws, his last 4 throws have been right on the money. 2-4 on the putout. Marlins are retired here in the first. August, the Phillies will make a contribution to the Help Our Kids Radiothon, benefiting the Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. You can find out more at nemours.org/radiothon. The radiothon will be held on our Phillies radio affiliate, WDEL 101.7 and 1150 AM. Rhys Hoskins leads it off, and it's 0-1.
A tale of 2 pitchers so far, huh?
He's getting the first pitch over. Whacked it foul. Oh, and 2 to Hoskins. Reese is 6 for 15 against the Marlins so far. You think Bob's saying the same thing to Pete?
Yeah, I'd be a heck of a lot better pitching coach if we threw first pitch strikes all the time. You know, you can say what you want, Bob McClure, whatever, but how tough has his job been this year? I mean, we've had what, 57 pitchers so far?
Got a lot of pitchers coming through. Outside.
Tried to drop down.
Despagnier's from the same hometown as Marlins third base coach Freddie Gonzalez in Cuba. Jose Canseco was born in that same hometown, La Habana. Yonder Alonso, Cookie Rojas. In fact, if you look at the Cuban players that have played in the big leagues, most are from La Habana.
So if Jose Canseco was born there, I'm assuming his twin brother Ozzie was born there too?
I think so. I don't think they
trying to be rational.
I don't think they got out before that. I probably should have had Ozzie on that list too. And ball 4. Hoskins walks. Daniel Nava is coming up. Nava was 1 for 4 in the series against the Braves. Well, Murph, we alluded to it a few moments ago. The Phils will even add to their pitching staff tomorrow.
Add one more to the list of pitchers coming through. Juan Nicasio, it was grabbed off of waivers today by the Phillies, and he's 31 years old. In fact, turned 31 today. The veteran of 7 seasons, pitched for the Pirates. The Pirates making a decision that looks like deciding that, you know, the salary dump is the way to go for them. So they put him on waivers. The Phillies claim him, and he's had some pretty good numbers this year. He's pitched very well. He's a right-hander, 65 games with an ERA of 2.85 for the Pirates. He averages 9 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched as well, and he's owned the NL East this year. How about in 13 appearances versus the NL East, Nicasio has an ERA of 0.75, and 12 of those appearances have been scoreless. So the Phillies think that he's a guy that can help them not only for this season, but they'll take a look. He's a free agent at the end of this season, but they'll take a look, and if they like what they see, maybe he's a member of this team a year from now as well. As a resulting move, Brock Stassi was designated for assignment so that they could put Juan Nicasio on the 40-man roster. So we do expect to see him here in Miami tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, in fact, the coaching staff, they were receiving different text messages from some of the Pirates coaches as Nava rolls that one to the left side, and Dietrich throws on the run. Well, that's a heck of a play. Actually, that's Rojas who threw on the run, the shortstop, so 6-3 on the putout.
Yeah, I have a feeling if that was Dietrich, that's probably a base hit.
I think that's why I was surprised.
Yeah, Rojas got to that thing quick. And, you know, that's the shortstop. You have to be versatile. You have to be able to throw from different arm angles. That's just absolutely perfect. Perfect throw to Moore. But we got a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, the Phils have a runner at second in Rhys Hoskins. And that will bring Maikel Franco to the plate. Franco, good numbers against the Marlins this year, hitting .378 against them. And he whacks that first pitch off his foot. That's going to be a little painful. Couple home runs for Franco against the Marlins. Inside. Phillies since that Giants series, or a little before, 14 games, they're hitting .267 with runners in scoring position. Not too shabby. Over toward third. Dietrich has it. Looks Hoskins back. There are 2 outs with a runner in scoring position, and Pedro Florimon is coming up. Florimon is back in center field. He was 4 for 12 in the series against the Braves.
Well, how about a 2-out hit? Get us on the board. Need to get jump out to a lead here.
Yeah, facing a Marlins team that only had the lead one time this past weekend against the Nationals. They were swept out by Washington. Don Mattingly's team went into Washington 12 games back and 4.5 out in the wild card. They leave 5.5 out in the wild card and 15 games back. They probably were only going to gain maybe one game in the wild card if they had won one of the ball games against Washington. But a lot of the players, including JT Realmuto, who was a triple away from the cycle yesterday's game, was lamenting about how disappointing it was they could not get one win against Washington. Apparently Jason Worth, though, was pretty hot, and so were a couple other guys.
Yeah, and Steven Strasburg hit a home run.
Yep.
He kept Stanton from hitting one, and he hit one himself.
And Stanton only had one homer for the week. In Washington. Swing and a miss. Florimon is down on strike. Second strikeout for Despaigne. Phillies leave one in scoring position. No runs, no hits, and one man left. Middle of the second. Night at Citizens Bank Park. All fans will receive the retro Phillies bracelet, slap bracelet. That's coming to all fans coming to the ballpark that day. Series creator and Philadelphia area native Adam Goldberg and actor Troy Gentile, who plays Barry on the TV show, will be on hand. There'll be Phillies themed clips from the show that will be featured throughout the game on Fanavision. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. All right, so here is Marcell Ozuna, who was up when Gordon was thrown out trying to steal, and the first pitch from Lively is in there. It's 0-1.
Someone just sent out on the Twitter that Odubel's 2 for 2 with a homer so far.
Scheduled to play 5 innings tonight as Ozuna singles to center. And then is scheduled to be off tomorrow. Aaron Altair will play tomorrow, and they'll be playing for Lehigh Valley. Here's JT Realmuto.
They'll roll one over right here.
Now that got him. Realmuto hit by a pitch to put runners on first and second. Derek Dietrich is coming up.
They got him right on the elbow, and he didn't even flinch, did he? Catchers.
They take hits like that all the time. It's nothing new for them.
Tough hombres.
Dietrich has struck out 15 times this year against the Phillies, so let's see if they can get him again here. He's played, or he's had 348 at bats, and he has struck out overall 83 times. Good pitch, and it's 1-1.
And that's the pitch right there. Off speed, breaking balls down from our righties.
Yeah, he didn't have that in his last outing against the Cubs. In fact, he didn't have a whole lot against the Cubs. He allowed 6 earned runs in 5 innings and allowed 4 home runs in that game. On the outside corner, 1-2. Two at 2.
I don't see why you can't go back to the breaking ball. You know, Rhys Hoskins has to be ready.
Inside and low, 3-2. Heard the weight coming off the bat of Tyler Moore. He's in the on-deck circle.
I think we got a chance to hear a lot this series.
Yeah, the crowd mic behind home plate is pretty good. Picks everything up. Line drive softly into left center field. A base hit. Ozuna around third, being held there. And now the bases are loaded for Tyler Moore. The long weekend is almost here. Whether you're headed to the beach for the Labor Day weekend or planning a family barbecue, you can catch the Phils on the NBC Sports app. Download today and always keep up with your teams. All right, so Lively is in a little bit of a pickle here with Tyler Moore, who has basically been a pinch hitter this year against the Phillies. Coming up.
Phillies are lucky too. Ozuna, I don't know what kind of read that was.
And he was only a few feet away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, Freddie had no chance at that ball, and he hesitated, waited for it to hit the ground. By then, Freddie Gonzalez had to hold him.
Well, falling behind these hitters has been problematic for Lively. I mean, here he is now, 1 ball and no strikes to Tyler Moore. Fly ball, shallow center field. Ozuna's tagging. Florimon comes running in. He's under it. He got knocked to his back heels. The throw to the plate is a little offline, but Ozuna doesn't go. Now there's 1 out. You were right to say that, John, because at the last moment, the footwork was all off for Florimon.
Yeah, he got drifting back on the ball instead of getting behind it, catching it coming in, and, you know, quicker catch and throw. Watch him. It looks like everything's good, and then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh.
Whoop.
As soon as he started backing up, you know, this is what happens to that throw. I mean, you're trying to rush your throw. You're going to push it. It's going to have a little tail on it, and Ozuna, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't feel like touching home plate today.
Yeah, it was a kind of a throw of the shoulders by Freddie Gonzalez over third, too. Rojas fouls it away. It's 0-1.
And now Lively's one pitch away from getting out of this inning when it could have been a disaster inning.
Rojas 3 for 16 against the Phillies this year.
You guys are probably sitting there thinking, wow, there's other teams that doesn't run the bases too well.
Off the hands out towards shortstop. Galvis has it. A run will score. The only play is to first. Well, he made a good pitch there too. So it's 1-0 Marlins. Runners on second and third. An RBI for Rojas. You know, that was a really good pitch.
Yeah, too good a pitch, maybe. This pitch just runs in on the hands of Rojas. Shortstop speed, no chance. Freddie did the right thing. Get one out. You know, now get the pitcher out, and you start out of bases loaded, no outs, and you only give up one.
Despaigne dribbles it right in front of the plate, and Rupp will throw to first. What turned out to be bases loaded and nobody out results in a just one run for the Marlins. We'll go to the top of the third. It's 1-0 Miami. Trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. John, the question is, what two Marlins share the club record for most home runs in one season versus the Phillies? Most home runs in one season against the Phillies. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Well, Despaigne has a 1-0 lead to work with as we go to the top of the third. It'll be Cameron Rupp, Ben Lively, and then the top of the order for the Phillies. Phillies are offering a fall ballpark pass for the month of September. It's 15 games for just $50. Gives you access to every Phillies regular season home game in September. All tickets are delivered digitally via your mobile device. Visit Phillies.com for more information. So here's Cameron Rupp. Rupp hitting .225 with 14 homers. His 14 home runs is 12th among catchers in all of baseball. You look at that list, there's a couple of teams that have two players on that list. That's the rich getting richer. Over to third, and it's a foul ball.
Hey, what, that kid down the left field line caught that one like he knows what he's doing. If someone gets hurt, we might have a substitute. Good hands, massaged it into his body just beautifully. Larry Bow would be proud.
That would sit well out to center field, but Yelich, he got turned around, but still was able to make the catch. Well, we told you in Philadelphia he plays deep, and it's partly because of this ballpark. So he has plenty of room to roam and plenty of time to make that kind of play.
That's 2 balls, though, hit right on the screws, but to hit to the deepest part of this ballpark. And you're right, Yelich plays deep as center field as we've seen.
All right, Lively 3 for 14 this year with a home run. Said, Ben, anybody from home coming down? And he said, well, I didn't think so until my father sent me a photo of him next to the welcome to Miami sign. It is kind of far. I mean, he's basically covering the whole state to get from where he grew up.
He's up in the Panhandle?
Yeah. Said it's about an 11-hour drive. So we got a miss, 1-2. He's only a few miles from the Alabama border. We're talking about the hurricane that hit the Houston area. And he said, yeah, we've been through a lot of those where I'm from. 3 unassisted, 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for Cesar Hernandez. Cesar flied out to center field his first time up. One ball and 2 strikes.
Pretty good changeup right there by Despaigne. Yeah, it looks like he has an idea. I mean, he's 30 years old. It looks like he has an idea on how to pitch, which you know, when you saw Levan and El Duque when they came over, they had a knowledge of how to pitch.
Back toward the middle, past Despaigne, picked up by Rojas, and they're not going to get Cesar. An infield hit, first hit of the night for the Phils. Cesar now with 27 infield hits this year.
Well, we've seen Despaigne with the quick pitch to home. You wonder how quick his move is. But he makes a good pitch right here. Off the hands, and he hit a changeup back to Despaigne, and it fooled him. And you know, once Rojas had to cut straight across, and wasn't able to charge that ball. No chance of getting Cesar. And I like to see Cesar run early here. Give Freddie at least 2 strikes to work with.
Galvis flied out to left field, his first and only time up. It's at foul over the dugout. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. One ball, 1 strike. Out toward left again. Ozuna's coming in. It is going to get down. It drops in front of him. So a 2-out single puts 2 runners on here in the 3rd.
Oh, Freddie needed that, didn't he? Little broken bat blooper, just falls in front of Ozuna. But man, talk about desperate for a hit.
0 for his last 11 counting the series with the Braves.
Again, another good pitch by Despaigne. Little slider that gets in on the hands of Freddie, and got just enough of it to put it in between Rojas and Ozuna. Now another 2-out hit. We're in business.
With Nick Williams, who's hit .489 in his few games here at this ballpark. I don't know.
Remember, he hit that long one to center field.
It was a laser.
Yeah, it was.
And now Real Muto out to talk to Despaigne. Despaigne, who pitched for Industriales in Cuba, tries to pattern a lot of what he does after El Duque. See a little bit of the leg kick, although El Duque's was a little more pronounced.
El Duque kneed himself in the chin.
Yeah. But like a lot of pitchers from Cuba, he is effective with all these different arm angles. He has said that that's how he was brought up. That's how he was trained. He said, so if you didn't throw strikes from all these different arm angles, you weren't going to have a lot of effectiveness, or you wouldn't be in a game.
Well, it makes sense. You know, unless you're just unbelievably overpowering, you know, what would it hurt to drop down and throw a slider from down under, or, you know, not have a robotic windup every time?
Heard Nick very sheepishly call for time, and Brian Gorman granted it.
Well, he's polite. Very polite young man.
Very polite. After a changeup, and he has struck out the final batter in each of the first 3 innings today, as he leaves 2, including 1 in scoring position. Phillies have left 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Lively back to work. Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And buy WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Well, we go to the bottom of the 3rd. D. Gordon leads it off. He walked his first time up. A little surprised he went after that first pitch.
Well, I mean, you know, you don't have to swing your first at bat. You might as well try to get your hacks in your second. I was surprised. I don't even know if that was a strike.
Check swing.
No, that one wasn't.
That's my thought, though. It's fresh in your mind. He's really struggling.
Yeah, and now you've swung at 2 balls that are out of the strike zone. So instead of 2-0, it's 0-2.
He got him. That was not the crispest of at-bats for D. Gordon. But that'll bring Giancarlo Stanton to the plate after the first strikeout for Lively. Murph, what else you got on all the home runs that Stanton's hitting this year?
Well, you know what? There's so much to talk about when you talk about these home runs. You know, obviously in Philadelphia, a lot of folks talking about Rhys Hoskins, what he's been able to do. What about the metrics on Giancarlo Stanton and what he has been able to do? If you're a fan of baseball, it certainly is fun to take a look at. How about this? His longest home run this year, 477 feet. That's the 7th longest in baseball this year. His highest exit velocity, how about 118.2 miles per hour? That's the 5th hardest hit ball. The top 4 all Aaron Judge. So Aaron Judge has the top 4, then Giancarlo Stanton. His average exit velocity, how about 108.8 miles per hour? That's second to Judge. The Major League Baseball average on home runs is only 103.2. So you can see that above average in just about everything he does when it comes to the power numbers when you're looking at the metric side of things. And you know, it's always interesting to see those kinds of things, the buzzwords nowadays in baseball with exit velocity and all of that. So he's among the top. When he hits him hard.
May have just broken that seat down the left field line. That young man in the blue shirt was looking at his phone, and he's fortunate that ball didn't hit him because it hit the seat next to him. That's some exit velocity. Swing and a miss. That's a good pitch. That is a good pitch.
Well, it's a pitch he's going to desperately need is Ben Lively. You can't just live off the fastball. See the change of grip, the slider. It's not unhittable, but it's very hard to hit. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Especially if you're trying to leave Earth like Stanton is.
Yelich bounces one back toward the middle. This will be a tough play. I don't know if they would have gotten him anyway. Now they got to get it in quickly.
Well, you remember the last series at home, he hit a couple ground ball past Freddie and ended up at second base on it for the double.
Marcell Ozuna's coming up. Ozuna singled and scored the only run for the Marlins. Just a bit low. It's 1-0. Two balls and no strikes. Off the hands, out towards shortstop. Freddie has to hurry. It's going to be a tough one to score. Because if he had it cleanly, he would have thrown out Ozuna at first base.
Yeah, I think he would have had him too, but let's see how they score it. Sometimes they favor the home team. Yeah, just Freddie's didn't get it. I mean, just didn't get his glove down far enough. The glove was on its way up. You wonder if he had that outfielder's glove, he'd have caught that.
That outfielder's glove, which at first was Rhys Hoskins' glove. And he said it was just way too big. He said so. He brought a glove from home. He didn't think it was broken in enough. He said, I got to use it. And he goes, you know, it turned out it was broken in enough.
No, what about Floramone's glove, or who else we got right-handed? Altair, Odubel. By the way, that was we saw some video of Odubel's homer. Unbelievable bat flip.
It
15 feet in the air at least.
Yeah, it was, as my son, who's at the game, told me. He said he just had an epic bat flip after his home run.
What'd they score that, an error?
E6. Only the 7th error of the year for Freddie Galvis. I hate to say it, but I think that's the right scoring. Only because if he fielded it cleanly,
yeah,
I think he would have had Ozuna.
Yeah, and you know, the fact that Ozuna got jammed so bad, it takes a right-hander a little bit longer to get out of the box. Once they get jammed, there's that little hesitation of I can't feel my hands, but I'm assuming my feet still work.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they scored it a hit. Foul ball, and it's 2-2. There you go.
I tell you
Mr.
what.
Casual. Speaking of Freddie's fielding, our Geico quote of the day from Freddie. I'm playing center field last night. The first ball was the toughest, but once I got used to that one, I was fine. It was fun. Remember that first one where it looked like it was going to go over his head?
But you would have never known that he had trouble with it.
No. And Real Muto is hit by a pitch again. And now he's looking back at Lively. It is frustrating. I think we all understand that, but he's not trying to load up the bases.
No, he's not. But, you know, especially with the guy Dietrich, who, even though it wasn't a hard hit ball, got a base hit his last at bat. It just, yeah, he's trying to run this ball in, and you know, you just wish guys knew how to get out of the way of a ball. I mean, he couldn't have got out in the way of that one, but let it hit you in a different spot.
Yeah. Well, Dietrich, who is the leader in being hit by a pitch for the Marlins. 0-1. And
that's what's frustrating. You know, Gordon, no chance. Stanton, you know, work your tail off to get a strikeout on him, and then it's, you know, single, error, hit by pitch, and makes you work that much harder. You got to go breaking ball, don't you?
I would think so. 0-2. He does, and it's grounded foul. It's sharply to first. Hoskins has it, and he will work out of another bases loaded jam. We're through 3. The Marlins have had a lot of opportunities. They've left 6. Hoskins will lead it off when we come back. Lasting the power of Duracell batteries delivered right to your desktop the same day when you order by 11:30. Pinpoint delivery by who? Who but WB Mason. Top of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 Marlins. Ben Lively's been able to get himself out of some trouble in the first 3 innings. Phillies fans are now hoping that maybe their team can get some offense. They have Rhys Hoskins leading things off against Espanier.
You wouldn't think there'd be any retribution on the side of the Marlins, but who knows?
1 ball and no strikes. If anybody is going to retaliate, it would be on behalf of the catcher, who catches almost every game. In the air to left field. Ozuna going back toward the track. He's under it and makes the catch. Rhys got that one toward the end of the bat a little bit. And maybe in a different ballpark like Philadelphia or even others, that would have been gone.
Yeah, 344 down the lines here, and that one would have made it to the fence, I think. Like you said, he just caught it off the end. Look at that fastball you see right there, just off the end. He waits a split second longer. Who knows where that ball would have ended up? Clevelander, maybe.
Nava takes low. So Despaigne defected from Cuba in 2013. As John mentioned, he's not a young guy. He's pitched in the big leagues with San Diego and with Baltimore. That's where the Marlins picked him up, from Baltimore. In fact, he defected when Cuba was playing in the a world tournament over in Europe, and he defected to Spain. Became a legal resident in Spain, and then eventually traveled to Mexico, where he and Aledmys Diaz both did a workout in front of Major League scouts. Now the Padres signed Despaigne, the Cardinals signed Diaz.
Yes, can't imagine. I know you want to try to play in the big leagues and all that, but like to leave your family. And who was a player that hadn't seen his kids in like 3 years, and he was finally reunited with
Abreu from the White Sox.
Yeah.
I think El Duque was that way too.
I think Nava got hit with that breaking ball.
Yeah, that wasn't retaliation. That was just an errant breaking ball. So base runner for the Phils. Franco's coming up.
If I could hit him in his back knee. Yeah, right off the inside of that back knee.
And now Franco, who grounded out his first time. Nava's still trying to run that off.
Yeah, first pitch take off.
Yeah.
Element of surprise. Plus, we've hit Realmuto in both hands. I don't know how much he can throw.
Franco bounces it foul past Sammy.
Tell you what, for a 1-0 game, it's been a pretty physical matchup.
Sure has. Another one bounced into the Marlins dugout. Right near Justin Bour, who's about to head out for a rehab assignment.
Not going to miss him in this series.
He'll be back on Monday.
Good for him. I hope he does well.
Yep. As long as he's healthy, he'll be back on Monday. Off the glove of Realmuto. That'll be his fifth pass ball, I should say, of the season. And the Phils, for the third straight inning, have a runner in scoring position.
Just
missed it.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to get mad at little league kids when they do it. You know, big leaguers miss them too.
Up foul and out of play.
Of course, I'm sure there's someone in the stands saying you got to catch that ball. He doesn't know that. Glad you reminded him.
It's not an easy position. I mean, think about you. You've been looking for a catcher for 6 months now.
Yeah. Got turned down by my second baseman.
Really?
She said, well, her mother said, absolutely not.
You told her that Carlos Ruiz moved from second base to catcher, didn't you?
Yeah, well, not sure she would know who Chooch is.
Off the hands, out of play.
So that was a pass ball.
Yes.
You know how meticulous I am with my scorecard.
You didn't travel with your book today?
No, because my thing, that
briefcase
thing, is not big enough.
Oh, because it's a longer scorebook. I got you. Is that why the book was open? The W.B. Mason book was open yesterday? Were you looking for a new briefcase?
Yeah. Larry Anderson was directing me in the right direction and what I should get.
Another foul ball off the foot of Franco.
It's like Dumb and Dumber trying to figure something out. Same guy who left his stuff on the plane. He had to run off the bus last night.
He got off the bus.
Tell you what, though, he
moved.
He was quick. I mean, for a 72-year-old, I mean, he got after it.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat for Franco.
Well, drive in a run.
Three and two. Check swing. They'll appeal. And no swing, says Dan Iasonia. So that's a good walk for Michael Franco. He doesn't do it that often, but that was a good at bat.
Yeah, there's a couple pitches there he would have normally swung at.
RBI Baseball 2017 is out for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Your breakout MLB season is here. You better come ready to play. Florimone into the dugout. Murphy, all right?
Doing just fine, thank you.
Darn.
Ball went in pretty quickly.
But I'm not down there. So
oh, okay. So Whitey took it for you.
That's right.
Where is he?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in straightaway center field.
Inside.
The only one I can see out there is Yelich. And he's shading to left.
Not too far from him.
A wave or something.
Out toward right center field.
No.
That'll drop in for a base hit. Nava's around third, heading for home. And Stanton's throw goes toward third. The Phils have tied it up. It's a 1-1 game.
Wow.
Boy, that ball must really hurt Nava because he was not moving around that third base bag.
No, and I don't think Stanton took that into consideration because he just assumed, okay, he's going to score easy. I'll try to keep Franco from going to third. And yeah, I mean, you watch Nava, you know, he hesitated for a second, then he went, but like you said, he wasn't running good at all. But Stanton just had no design to throw the ball home. Okay, there's some things hurting right there. That knee's barking.
Not a young pup anymore.
No.
Cameron Rupp lined out his first time up. Swing and a miss to the slider. And it's 0-1. I like that. Do you hear that? Cameron Rupp just asked Brian Gorman, was that a ball there, Brian? And Brian Gorman said, yeah.
Could have said no, you swung. It normally determines it's.
I always thought umpires just said, oh, yeah, yeah. Cameron's had a tough time against the Marlins this year. 2 for 25. So he's a little overdue. He ripped that one foul. Oh boy. That was probably making some noise as it went into the crowd.
It looks like they're checking on someone down there.
Drilled deep to left foul. Oh. I don't think everybody's paying attention.
Yeah,
that gentleman was on his phone, and that ball went right over his head. He's upset that the guy in the orange got the baseball.
Well, get off the phone.
He's lucky he didn't get hit. Broken bat liner. Ooh, past Dietrich. He just misjudged it into shallow left field. And Michael Franco will stop at third. I think that ball knuckled right on past him.
Hey, look like Cameron hit that one off the end of the bat. The bat shattered. I don't know. Dietrich got caught in between. I have to dive for it, or I don't have to dive for it. There you see it right off the end of the bat. You see the bat just shatter. I think it just fooled Dietrich. I think he thought it was hit a lot harder. Yeah.
Oh, he definitely did.
Yeah, he just thought it was hit harder, and that ball was hit softly, but it had a little hook on it. Now Cameron's lacing him up because he's going to score on this double.
Lively, huh?
He's due. He hadn't homered in a while.
All right, so Juan Nieves out to the mound to talk to his righty.
Well, both pitchers have had a boatload of runners on base. Who's going to come up with that one key hit, though, and try to get on top?
Well, maybe it's Lively here. The infield is in a little bit up the middle. Corners are in, and Lively hits it foul. And it's 0-1. Back toward the middle and a base hit it to center field. One run is in. Floremon's around third, heading home, and he'll score. And the Phillies take the lead. It's 3-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Ben Lively comes through with a big base hit.
Oh, a misplay by us last inning by Freddie, and Lively pitched us out of it. And Dietrich misses that ball at third, and Ben Lively says, you know what, if no one else wants to get that big hit, I'll take it.
Which, by the way, was ruled a base hit for Cameron Rupp. As Cesar takes inside.
That good. Cameron needed it. Keep it going, Cesar. Let's go. Add on. You know how powerful this team is offensively.
One ball, one strike.
Got some bullpen action up already for the Marlins.
Tazawa. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Despagnier's dad also pitched in Cuba. That was part of the reason why it was hard for him to leave, although it was part of his family's dream that one of them made it to the major leagues. In fact, Despaigne, when he was in San Diego, where they signed him, his dad asked, "Hey, are there any other Cuban players in San Diego with you?" And Despaigne said, "Yeah, there's a guy by the name of Yonder Alonso." And Despagne's dad pitched to Yonder Alonso's dad. Yonder Alonso's dad was a catcher in Cuba.
See where he learned this. Watch this. Watch the bubble. Blows a bubble right in the middle of the pitch. You've seen Adam. You've seen Adam Jones do it, going after a fly ball. Baltimore. Never seen a pitcher do it.
Total relaxation,
I suppose.
Change up low. 3-2. He's up to 86 pitches now.
Yeah, well, I don't think either starter's going to go deep into the game. Lively's what, 60 something?
Down the right field line. Lively is at 55 pitches, but that's through 3 innings.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. If you can squeak him through 6, I think you'd be happy about it.
This will be the 10th pitch of the at bat.
Finish it strong. Base hit, ball 4.
Little looper out toward left center field, and an infield fly rule has been called. And Rojas takes care of Cesar, and Freddie Galvis is due up. Freddie is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. They throw behind Cameron Rupp, and Cameron just gets back.
I think Rojas wants him to take a look. Donnie Mattingly got his hand up, say, hold on, let us take a peek.
Yeah, Wallach is on the phone.
Wow. That's
yeah, I think they got him.
They got him.
Well, Mattingly asked them to review it. So Roberto Ortiz and Brian Gorman will put the headsets on. Oh, that's going to be a frustrating thing.
Yes, it is.
Second time this year Cam has been picked off.
I think the fans seen it for the first time.
I think the problem is that Rupp just got stuck in the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all walking off.
And the signal has been made by Brian Gorman that Cameron Rupp is indeed out. He's been picked off second. The Phillies get 3 runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-1 Phils on top. And by McDonald's. Enjoy an ice cold delicious soft drink for only $1. I'm loving it. Phillies 3, Marlins 1. The Phillies just had a base runner picked off for the 12th time this year, which is second only to the Cardinals, who have had 13 base runners picked off, as Cameron Rupp was just picked off of second base. It's just too many times. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we can say it until we're blue in the face. Everybody knows it. It's going to be one of those issues that has to be dealt with next year.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of work putting in on their base running, basic fundamentals. I mean, you know, and again, yeah, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. They do work on it.
Yep.
It hasn't sunk into some.
Cardinals have been picked off 13 times, Phillies 12 times, and now the Pirates 11 times.
You know, even when I played, you know, I keep talking about Terry Mulholland, how great his move was, his step-off move, and there were still guys he would pick off. Like, he should never pick anyone off.
Right, you should shorten it up and just
understand that you're not going to be able to steal, and hope the next couple guys get hits, you can score.
Tyler Moore leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Ben Lively. Lively, who went to the University of Central Florida, as Ellington warms up for the Marlins. Played a lot of travel ball games, he said, down here in this area. He said he was here for a lot of his summer before he went to college and even beyond. And he gets Tyler Moore on strikes. He told a funny story even today. He said that when he was at Central Florida, he was the closer, not on the mounds, but when it came to recruits. If there was a big time recruit that came in, a guy that they had to have, as Central Florida had to have, then Ben was the guy who gave him the tour. He said he was, you know, pretty convincing too, as Franco comes in and picks that one out of the air as Rojas tries to butt his way on, and there are 2 outs. He did say there was one guy that he didn't get.
Good player.
Zach Eflin.
Pretty good.
Said he was brought in to close when Zach Eflin was visiting UCF, and Eflin decided to go pro. Can't blame him.
Yeah, no, it avoided disaster there by Franco. You can hear him yelling. Lively had to slide to get out of the way.
Well, A.J. Ellis will pinch hit. I think A.J. was just busting Cameron Rupp's chops about being picked off second base.
Yeah, A.J. has that type of personality.
He does. He had Dad on the back of his jersey during the Players Weekend. Said his teammates wanted him to have Dad Bod on the back of his jersey instead of Dad.
What's Dad Bod? What?
Dad Body. He's little rotund in the middle. Swing and a miss. Ellis strikes out. 4 strikeouts.
I take offense to that.
You and me both. Ben Lively, 4 strikeouts as he retires. The Marlins in order here in the 4th. We'll head to the 5th. It is our final Hatfield Dollar Dog Night of the season. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Those folks are back in the Delaware Valley. They might be there.
I think I missed that.
I think you do. Plenty of hot dogs to be had, though, for you, Johnny. All right, Brian Ellington will take over here in the top of the 5th inning. Fastball inside.
That'll wake old Freddie up. Well, 99 at the chest.
In the air to right center field. That is well hit. Moving back is Yelich, and it is in the yard. A one hop off the wall, and Galvis will pull into second base with his 27th double of the year as he greets Ellington here in the 5th inning.
Oh, it's amazing how Freddie struggled against the Atlanta Braves. He gets that one little broken bat blooper to left field, and all of a sudden you start feeling pretty good about yourself. That's a good swing right there by Freddie. I think he thought he might have got it initially, but then he said, "No, it's going to stay in. Let me run." Here's where Nick has to do a job.
Yeah, try to get Freddie over and keep adding on to this 3-1 lead. Nick has struck out twice. He's striking out a little bit more recently. His average at 278.
Seems to be taking a lot more pitches too early.
Late on another fastball at 98 miles an hour.
And that's a 1-2, belt high. Tough for Nick to lay off, but he hasn't really shown yet that he can catch up to that pitch. Wow. That pitch was a foot higher, right into his. Well, yeah, when you see a team every day like we do, you don't expect the other teams to make the same mistakes we do. But
I totally agree with that.
But they do. Why wouldn't you throw another fastball up? 0-2, you know he's in swing mode. I mean, I hope they don't.
Tried to get that one a little higher, just wasn't high enough, and Nick's able to foul it back.
Oh, 7 pitches, and he's worked up quite the lather. 6 pitches, 2, 3, 2 to Freddie, 5. I get it.
Broken back ground ball back to Ellington. Galvis is now caught between second and third, and Dietrich is able to track him down quick enough so Williams cannot advance. Freddie just got caught on that one. So fielder's choice, and 165 on the putout.
Yeah, Freddie, I think he understands that's a mistake. You got to make sure that ball gets past the pitcher, and he's trying to stay in a rundown long enough, but it was well executed by the Marlins. Tried to stay in there long enough to get Nick to second base, but at first I thought Nick was going to go, and I thought, oh boy, here's a double play.
Hoskins flat out to the track and left his last time up. He's 0 for 1.
what you love about Reese. He steps out when there's runners on and looks at Sammy every time. Well coached somewhere.
Sounds like I don't know if anybody got a chance to see Jerry Krasnick's story today about Rhys Hoskins. It was a real, I mean, there's been so many stories about Rhys that you kind of consume all of them, but this one was about his time at Sacramento State, his time in high school where he was a 3-sport athlete, and it talked about the knowledge that he picked up baseball wise while he was at Sacramento State. He was a scholarship player. Baseball players don't always get a full scholarship anymore in this day and age. Originally offered 25% of his tuition at Sacramento State, but then when Sacramento State noticed that he was getting better as a high school player, they were worried somebody else was going to give him more money, so they gave him 65%. Well, then Rhys, his last year, dropped down to 25% because there were a couple pitchers that Sacramento State wanted to pick up, and they needed the scholarship money, so he wanted to win. So he gave back some of his scholarship money, and then eventually was drafted by the Phillies. And this came out only recently. They won the conference championship, and according to Jerry's story, and you can see it, it's online on ESPN.com. According to Jerry's story, after he signed his contract, he paid for the rings for the championship team from his last year.
Wow.
But wouldn't let anybody know about it. That story just came out recently that it was his $8,000 to $9,000 that paid for the conference championship rings.
A pretty classy move.
Yeah. Out to left field, Ozuna venturing back. And he is a few steps from the track to make the catch for the second out.
And Hoskins extended his hitting streak, correct?
Yes,
right
he
there?
did.
I tell you what, I mean, he hit that ball so hard. I thought, you know, when it left the bat, I'm like, oh man, he lined out to center. But Ozuna or Yelich plays so deep, like he's in no doubles defense to start the game. I guess he feels like he's better coming in for balls than he is going back.
And that's where you're burnt on balls like that. That extended the hitting streak to 13 straight. Franco takes high. Oh boy, let's see him make this play. The fence kind of quieted it down. It's an easier play.
Looked like Sammy taking a couple more steps down the line. Might have been a little too close for comfort.
Change up.
Well, you know, it just seems like with the Spanier now with Ellington, you know, if we're patient, if our hitters are patient, they'll get back into counts. Ellington has a great arm. Secondary pitches hasn't caught up yet.
Well, that changeup gets Maikel Franco to wrap up this fifth. So the Phils had a chance to score some more runs. They didn't do it. We played 4.5. Ben Lively back to work with a 3-run lead. The order: D. Gordon, Giancarlo Stanton, and Christian Yelich to lead it off. Gordon is 0 for 1 in this ball game. He walked his first time up. Two. I don't want to overstate it here, but he's kind of found his command a little bit more.
Yes, he has.
Bunt. It'll be a tough play. Lively throws it away.
Got him.
Cesar bobbles, throws too softly. It hits Gordon in the helmet, and it's going to the line. And he'll head to third. There'll be 2 errors on that play. One to allow Gordon to go to second, because I'm sure he'll get a bunt hit out of that, and the other one to allow him to go to third.
Yeah, 2 strikes. You don't expect the bunt. Franco's back, so he had no chance. But Lively thought he could get him. It looked like his foot just got stuck, and he bounce it, but
Cesar had
him, but he didn't put anything on the throw. I think the angle maybe where Gordon was.
Well, now Stanton takes up and in, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. All right, so I would think E1 to allow him to go to second, E4 to allow him to go to third, and a bunt hit, I think.
Yeah, I would think they'd give him a hit on that.
Apparently they're saying E1 to allow him to get to second and no hit. Wow. And then E4. Popped him up. Hoskins under it on the right side. And what a way. Oh, he's done a nice job getting Stanton tonight. I think that has to be a hit. I don't think they would have gotten Gordon, honestly.
No. Especially at home.
Yeah, I guess that's for them to sort it out.
But I looked out on the board. It says we have 3 errors.
Yeah, we should have. Well, they have the error on Freddie in the third.
Okay, then that's 3. So it should. Well, I don't.
But still only 3 hits for the Marlins.
I gave him a hit. I don't think my scorecard matters.
Yelich hits it down the left field line. Nava on the run. He's not going to get there. Boy, Nava is gimpy right now. The throw goes to second, and Yelich is there. It's an RBI double. 3-2 ball game. Well, that's what you talked about before, John, about Yelich.
And he runs a base as well. He cuts the bases perfectly, and he hustles out of the box. It's kind of a rare thing anymore, but you're watching right there. He's watching, but while he's watching, he's running. Now look at that perfect turn. Almost a direct line from first to second, and if he took a wider turn, they might have had him. I tell you what, his base running the last handful of games that I've seen him has been just spectacular.
Well, they have changed Gordon's E1 to a hit and then an E1. And now a double for Yelich, and Ozuna is the batter.
And I tell you, Ben Lively better make sure that Yelich stops. Yelich was still moving toward third. You get a timing on Lively with this, cadence 1, 2, 3, 1,001, 1,002, whatever. If it's just one look and go. There he gave him a couple looks, and that inside move that rarely if ever works.
Outside to Ozuna.
He had practice swing right there by Ozuna. I wish he would take that one in the game. I don't think he could have hit one past the pitcher with that hack.
Up and away, 3-1. You got a little bit of a danger zone here. 3 balls and 1 strike to a guy who has 103 RBIs.
Yeah, I don't think you have to throw him a strike. If he wants to chase, let him chase, but
fly ball right field. Playable for Williams. Yelich is tagging from second. Williams makes the catch. Yelich is going. The throw by Williams is not in time. Good strong throw. 2 outs. JT Realmuto is coming up. Well, if you want to get caught up on what's going on with the Eagles, the Sixers, the Flyers, and the Phils, you want to take a look at some of the CSN podcasts. You can listen and download on Apple, Google Play, or csnphilly.com. You did one today?
I did.
What was today's topic?
Young players, September call up.
Big time. It's a big time of the year for a lot of young players.
Yeah, it's a bad time of the year, though. You shouldn't play 5 months one way and then the last month play under different rules. I've never been a fan of it. Never understood it. When do you need players most? In April, right? You need extra pitchers because starters only go 4 or 5, whatever. So let them come up in April.
See, I like that. You have a little different thought than most people have with that.
30,
I like that.
30 man, not 40, 30. And then starting May 1st, you got to have a 25-man roster. And in those 30, you have to designate.
Ground ball to shortstop.
Good guy to hit it to.
Galvis throws out Realmuto. Well, we look forward to your podcast, Johnny. Phillies lead is down to 1. Lively works through this 5th, allows the 1 run. We'll go to the 6th. arrival. The first 2 weeks of your major league career are usually about getting comfortable and adjusting to your new surroundings. No one told Rhys Hoskins that. After the 24-year-old launched his first career home run, the floodgates opened. 8 homers through his first 15 games, tied a major league record. He's one of 3 players in baseball history to hit 8 home runs in his first 50 at-bats. He makes you stop, and he makes you watch when he steps to the plate. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Rhys Hoskins has extended his hitting streak to 13 consecutive games. Chuck Klein was the last Philly to do that in his first month as a big league player. That's not a bad name to be popped next to if you're Rhys Hoskins. So we go to the 6th inning. The Phillies lead it by 1. And Brian Ellington, who came on for Despaigne, will get set with his 2nd inning of relief work. Swinging his arm around a couple times like that during these warm-up tosses. Florimone will lead it off. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. One and 1, 98 on that one.
I tell you, Florimone seems like he gets a 1 a day, doesn't he?
He does.
Hey, they get some interesting decisions in the offseason.
I think they are beyond thrilled with the way he's played in the outfield. Because he's not an outfielder. Real Muto back toward the screen and into the netting. And that'll be a no play. See what D. Gordon's done? Got everybody thinking about bunting after they have a strike or 2. Thank goodness that net gave the way it did.
He'd have been head first into the front row there, wouldn't he? There's the aquarium.
Yeah, the fish tanks are okay today. They cracked earlier this year. 2-2.
This place is kind of growing on me. It's not bad.
Really? Have you ever been here when the roof is open?
I think the one I came here like before the season started.
Okay.
And I was doing a thing with Ozzie Guillen. About 2 hours of taping and 1 minute of content because my little buddy got a little salty with the language.
Oh, did he really?
Well,
that's not a surprise.
Only every other word.
That's not a surprise.
But he was funny.
Well, this place is, I think it's totally different with the roof open. Not playing wise, but just, you know, it's much brighter.
Yeah. Like Milwaukee, I would imagine a lot brighter with the roof open.
Absolutely.
And I know Nomar Garciaparra told me that about Milwaukee. He said he struggled there. He thought it was too dark.
Milwaukee's darker than this facility is, than Marlins Park is. But roof open, it's got a little different atmosphere to it. Obviously, they're not drawing all that well. This is one of the better crowds that we've seen. I mean, as strange as that sounds.
Yeah, I know. More than what we thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, about half hour before the game, there was, I mean, we could have counted them before the game started.
Florimone is struck out as Real Muto hangs on. 2nd strikeout for Ellington. Time for our timeless moment. Here's Greg Murphy. Murphy.
All right, thank you, Tom. Presented by Coors Banquet. August 31st, 2006, first baseman Ryan Howard hits his 49th home run to break Mike Schmidt's single-season record, who hit 48 back in 1980 during a 6-5 loss at Washington. Of course, Howard finished his Phillies career with 382 home runs. That is the second most to Michael Jack in Phillies history. How about this for a year, guys? 58 home runs, 149 RBIs. He batted .313. He scored 104 runs, and he was the league MVP. Pretty good year for Ryan Howard.
That was a really good season. Ryan Howard, by the way, hit a walk-off home run, I think it was yesterday, for the Rockies AAA team, the Isotopes. Came against a left-hander. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, if you give him 200 or 300 at bats and against certain righties, give Reynolds a day off or something in Colorado,
I would
probably hit 20, right?
I would think he's coming up this weekend for the Rockies. I would think. I thought there was a chance that he'd come up before this, but I would think he's coming up this weekend. He's hitting .222 for the AAA team. He has 2 home runs. I will tell you, though, the home run, after hitting the home run yesterday, he had such a smile on his face as he went toward home plate. One ball and 2 strikes to Rupp. And it remains 1-2.
I mean, you think about his desire to want to continue to play. I mean, I would assume that he's made enough that he doesn't have to work ever again.
I would agree.
And, you know, just to want to go back through that minor leagues, got released back to the minor leagues. I mean, it tells you that he still feels like there's something left.
You knew when it was over.
Oh, I was done. Yeah.
Saw Jimmy come back, try again.
But see, I was different than Ryan. I felt like I could still hit.
Yeah, I mean, your numbers show that.
But once I got on base, I didn't think I could help the team in that way.
Ground ball foul.
I mean, I was a station-to-station roadblock on the bases.
Roadblock.
I just didn't want to do it. I knew I was on first and Robin Ventura was hitting, and my knees were hurting so bad that I hoped he didn't hit one in the gap. Kind of rooting against him to hit an extra base hit, which that's when it dawned on me I got to get out.
Swing and a miss. Rupp strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Ellington and an inning in 2/3. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question answer. All right, John, what 2 Marlins share the club record for most home runs in one season versus the Phillies?
Well, Stanton's won
with 7 this year. The other guy played, let's see if I can give you the hint on this one. We've had him as an answer recently, and was not only, he was a two-way player. Very good offensively, very good defensively.
Oh, Mike Lowell?
Mike Lowell is correct. Back in 2004. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Stanton's laughing, I think, at the swing by Lively.
Tell you what, give Lively credit. He battles up there at the plate.
Swing and a miss.
Well, his heart was in it, but
nothing else was.
The backside wasn't.
4 strikeouts for Ellington through 2 innings of relief. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. The Phils hanging on to a 1-run lead. Chevrolet dealers. By Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. And by Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota. Let's go places. Downtown Miami, where the Phils lead at 3-2 over the Marlins as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Time now for our Citizens Bank Minor League Report. Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, yesterday, Lehigh Valley defeated Syracuse 7-4. Angelo Mora, 4 for 5, a double, and RBI 2 runs scored. Reading lost to New Hampshire yesterday 8-2. Christian Marrero was 2 for 3. Clearwater lost to Charlotte 6-4, and Williamsport lost to Auburn 3-2 in 11 innings. Josh Steffen was 2 for 5 with a triple. We mentioned tonight, Odubel Herrera has been playing for the Reading Titans. He's done after going 2 for 2. He was scheduled to play 5 innings. Now, what the plan is for Odubel to play today, but then be off tomorrow. And then Aaron Altera will play tomorrow, but they're both heading to Lehigh Valley after tonight's game with the Reading Titans.
You think they travel together?
Boy, that's a good question.
Or they each
I know
drive up?
Aaron was there tonight, but he was just working out. He may have had to be there even earlier than Odubel. But I would think that they would travel together, yes.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall of that car. Roof or whatever. Dashboard.
That should have been a strike.
Yeah, right down the middle for ball 1. Well, not down the middle, but.
That is a strike. 1-1. Odubel had 3 at-bats tonight. He was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and a walk. That got Brian Gorman.
Well, that should set off some little warning signs to the Phillies dugout. The fact that tried to throw a breaking ball right there and it stayed up and very hittable.
Cesar makes a great sprawling play and then throws out Dietrich. He kicked up all kinds of dirt as he went to the edge of right field to make that play. One man down.
Yeah, you see it right there. Good play. A little, the way that grass is, there's some little bare spots. You wonder if it could have taken a bad hop, but Cesar stayed with it, understanding, Dietrich runs okay, but had plenty of time.
Well, that'll bring Tyler Moore to the plate, and Moore takes inside. Adam Morgan starts to fire in the bullpen.
It ain't quite like our bullpen. That is silencer. Wasn't making no sound at all. Ours sounds like someone's shooting a shotgun every time it hits a catcher's glove.
It might have been drowned out by the Clevelander out there.
Would that be your guess?
Either that or it wasn't.
Is that where Murph's kids are out there at the Clevelander?
I think that's where they'd want to be. There you go, Johnny.
That was better.
Yeah. And a strike 3 called. He went front door with that breaking pitch. That's his 5th strikeout. And 2 outs.
You see if this one broke around the plate. Not sure about that one, but we'll take it.
Well, that brings Rojas up with 2 outs. Lively in his last outing struck out 8. But he has 5 strikeouts here tonight.
Maybe he gave up 4 homers too.
Yes, he did. Ichiro, the leader in pinch hits, is in the on deck circle. Out toward right center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Williams trying to cut it off. He slides and gets to it, but Rojas is at second base. Boy, Nick Williams did everything he could to get that ball in and try to hold Rojas to 1 hit, to a single, I should say. Well, that's his 7th double of the year.
I see Nick going after this ball. He's trying to cut it off. I would think it'd be a little easier if you caught it and did the 360 turn and tried to throw it in. But he got the stumbling out there. I tell you what, he's lucky he didn't throw it anywhere. At least he threw it toward the cutoff man.
So that'll bring Ichiro to the plate. 267 hitter as a pinch hitter during his career. He's had a wonderful season though as a pinch hitter for the Marlins. One ball and 1 strike. Out to left field, waiting for it is Daniel Nava. And Lively leaves another one in scoring position. He has allowed 2 runs over 6 innings of work. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Marlins. We'll go to the 7th, 3-2 Phils. That swing by Ben Lively is the difference right now in this ball game. That and his pitching, he's done a nice job through 6 innings tonight, but he does have a 2-run single as well at the plate. Pedro Florimon has the other RBI for the Phils. So as we go to the 7th inning, the Phillies lead the Marlins 3-2. And Cesar Hernandez will lead things off. We saw a lot of Garcia when the Phillies and the Marlins faced each other at Citizens Bank Park. Harleen Garcia, 24 years old, from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. But he delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Think Lively's done after 6?
Well, I mean, he's had some relatively quick innings last couple.
Had a play, 1-2. 93 pitches overall.
I would imagine they would prefer having someone start the inning.
I would agree with that. Well, I guess we'll find out when there's 1 out, maybe 2 outs. If it's Morgan, he'll get back up to start warming. '57th game overall for Garcia, who has an excellent earned run average of 2.96. And he just gave up a leadoff base hit for Cesar Hernandez, who's going to get at least 2 out of this one. And Hernandez will hold up at second base, so he's there standing with his 22nd double of the year.
Yeah, there's a start we need. Try to get an insurance run. That's where the Phillies have such an advantage. When your first 2 hitters are switch hitters, you bring in a lefty, they just turn around. Cesar's first at bat today is a right-handed batter, and he hits a scorching double to left center.
All right, let's see if Freddie bunts here. Pete doesn't always bunt in these spots. I think this might be a spot to bunt.
I think so too.
Although Freddie is 2 for 3 today, he is squaring. And he went, according to Brian Gorman.
Yeah, I would prefer, if you're going to bunt. If you're not, then don't do the butcher boy play. Is that the bear claw?
Bear claw. Out to center field. Yelich going back on it, back toward the track. Cesar's got a tag. He might have even been able to score on that. Although that doesn't happen all that often. He was indecisive on what he was going to do.
Yeah, but he did the right thing. The last thing you want to do is to be standing on second base and that ball gets over Yelich's head and you can't score. You got to trust that your third, fourth hitters can drive you in less than 2 outs.
Pretty good swing by Freddie Galvis, huh?
Yeah, it was, and he hit it a long ways. That's 2 balls he's hit to center that Yelich has run down, but like I said, that's good base running by Cesar. Normally you're not going to score on that. The only way he would score is if Yelich had to dive for it and crashed into the wall. And here's where infield Nick has to try to get something down in the zone so he can lift it, not chase that high pitch like that. Most guys in this situation, you're looking to hit a ball into the outfield, so you look for something elevated. Nick's just the opposite, because that pitch is up out of the barely, who knows, borderline fastball, but he has trouble getting on that top of that pitch to hit it.
Over to third. Dietrich has it coming home, and they've got Cesar. Cesar's tagged out. 5-2-6 on the putout, fielder's choice. Let's hope these opportunities the Phillies have had don't come back to haunt them.
Yeah, it's been some issues on the base pass down here in Miami. A good play by Dietrich. Good strong throw. You know, Cesar's doing everything he can to stay in a run down along, but real mute. That's the thing with a catcher who can run a little bit. You can force that runner to run harder back to third, and one throw to Rojas, and that's it.
Well, that'll be it for Garcia. They're going to bring in Bearclaw with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And a runner over at first base. So another pitching change for the Marlins. Phillies lead it by 1. We'll be back right after this. The biggest Philly sports fan? Well, prove it. Come on out to Xfinity Live Tuesday, September 5th. Bring your epic fan stories for your chance to be in a commercial all about fans. Let's show once and for all that Philly fans are the best fans. Kyle Bearclaw will take over. Bearclaw 5-1 with a 3.00 ERA, on with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, where a single could have scored a run, now it's extra bases. I mean, you wouldn't think that Nick would attempt to steal with Hoskins hitting, but
I don't think so.
Well,
well,
we've seen. I mean, someone tried to do it, steal home while he was hitting.
That is true. There's a line drive out toward right field, and Stanton is there. Well, he got a good swing on it. He went hunting for a certain pitch, and that wraps up the 7th inning. What started out as a prosperous inning for the Phils ends with no run scoring. It is time to stretch. Phils.
Well, there's the one right there. Cameron Rupp got picked off second base. Bang, bang play, but a great throw by Real Muto. Great tag by Rojas. And that is our Hyundai defensive play of the game. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers, not local to Florida, local to the Delaware Valley.
That's right. Well, here is Adam Morgan. You expected that they would make a switch to have him start the inning. All right, so Lively, not too shabby tonight, John. Trouble with command early on, worked in and out of some trouble.
Yeah, you know, again, the way the first inning or so went with Ben Lively, you didn't think he'd get past 5. But, you know, now we turn it over in the 7th. Adam Morgan's been really good.
D. Gordon the batter, and he takes the first pitch strike.
Look at those numbers against lefties.
Yeah, they started to improve when we saw these guys at home, and they continue to improve as he gets a base hit to center field. Well, now the game begins. Because he is certainly a threat to steal.
I would think, though, that if he stole, they might not pitch to Stanton.
There is Ramos warming up the bullpen.
This could be the at-bat of the game.
Outside and low, 1-0. Eleven hits in his last 16 bats against lefties. Hey.
Well, we're bucking the trend, aren't we?
I would think so.
D. Gordon hitting 350 since June something against lefties, and
good spot, 95.
you know, but again, Adam Morgan has been our best relief pitcher over the last couple months, really. I mean, ran away, but we'll take it. Throw another one out there.
There's something softer in almost the same spot.
If you can get him to chase a high fastball right here, like well out of the zone, about shoulder high.
Well, they try to go out again.
I would think Gordon's on the move.
3-2, nobody out. Yelich on deck.
The left-handed hitter up next.
He goes and then stops, and a swing and a miss. Stanton strikes out. One away here in the 7th inning. He went with a changeup again.
Yeah, he did. 3 in a row. 3. That was a good one there. Because, you know, Stanton looking, I'm putting up us ahead. One swing.
Wow.
Great changeup by Adam Morgan. Tell you what, he's made a case that, you know, he and Milner both, but I think more Adam Morgan, because he can, seems like he could pitch multiple innings against righties, lefties, like you just saw. But he's making a case where they don't have to go out and look for a lefty reliever next year.
And that little change that Bob McClure made to the grip of that slider, which has turned it more into a cutter. 1 earned run allowed in his last 13 2/3 innings of work. An ERA under 0.7 now for the month of August. And Yelich whacked that one right off his foot or leg or somewhere that's very painful. Said he felt like he's collapsed his leg.
Collapsed or lost. They're there.
Oh,
Back leg?
it looked like it hit him in the back part of his back knee. Hey, you know the kids these days, man, make sure you let it get deep.
It's a dangerous game, John.
Well, you know that everyone's talking about. You got to let it get deep. Who was that I saw the other night? He said, "No, I don't want to get it deep. I want to get it out in front."
Somebody did say that. I can't remember who it was, but somebody did say it.
Well, Adam Morgan's way ahead right now. Now, you know, you might work a pitch out, see if D. Gordon, you can catch D. Gordon. Throw a fastball up and away like a pitch out, see if Yelich will chase.
Well, they try to get him to chase. That was a tough pitch, handled well by Rupp.
Yeah, and that's the fear of throwing that slider 0-2, because you know you want to bury it. You don't want to hang one to Yelich, but you know if D. Gordon was running there, no chance of Rupp throwing him out. Either his knee's still hurting or that shirt tastes really good. I'm going with the knee hurt.
I would think the knee. Swing and a miss. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts against two difficult hitters. There are 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and you know, think about earlier in the year if that happened with Adam Morgan, got a lefty out. It was almost automatic he was coming out when a righty power guy came up like Ozuna. But I mean, and I think you talk about the change that Bob McClure made on the grip of the slider. It's made it a better slider, but he's been in the 96 to 98 range, and you have to respect that as a hitter. And when he throws that slider, that how hard he throws it, your time to make a decision doesn't take long.
Yeah, the dirt blocked by Rupp. Do you think Gordon getting thrown out in the 1st inning with Ozuna at the plate will limit him from going in this inning?
I don't know if it'll limit him, but he hasn't. I don't think he's picked up Adam Morgan's move yet, and Adam hasn't thrown over, really, has he?
No.
But it seems like every time he lifts his leg, D. Gordon takes a step back to first.
Yeah, he flinched there.
You know, I don't know. It doesn't even seem like he's interested in running.
No. Out to the mound goes Cameron Rupp.
Maybe that bunt single 2-error things wore him down.
They were a little late turning the air conditioning on. Maybe he's a little tuckered out.
Have they turned the air conditioning on?
I don't think up here for you, no. Out of play, 2-2. All right, time now for the money pitch right here.
Yeah, money pitch with D. Gordon again going back to first base. You know, sometimes your best move is no move at all, because you know he has to think that Adam Morgan has some sort of move over there.
Well, they want to change up. There he goes, and the pitch fouled. So with the count 2-2, he decides to take off.
Well, that's one of those. You got waiting for 2 strikes on Ozuna. If he's, you know, if he gets thrown out, Ozuna leads off the 8th. If he makes it, Ozuna hits one in a gap. It's tie ball game. See Adam Morgan try to get that hard slider down and into Ozuna. See if he can swing over top of it.
So he wants the changeup again.
Looks like he wants that changeup. And that's something that, as Adam Morgan gets a little more older, that's what you're looking at. Everything's away. He can when he starts to get the feel for command for that slider. Right now it seems like he has it to one side of the plate. I mean, if he can backdoor that to a righty, whew.
2-2. Gordon goes. Pitch is fouled back again. 97 on that fastball.
Like I said, I mean, the one he struck Yelich out with, if he can throw that here to Ozuna. They're booing.
They don't want to see any strategy.
Yeah.
They just want to see a pitch.
Yeah, they just want to see D. Gordon try to steal a base uninhibited. No throwovers allowed.
I think he's going to throw over again.
That's just Pete having fun with the fans right there.
Probably.
He probably looked over, hey, Bo.
Yeah.
You want to hear a bunch of people boo?
There he goes. And another foul ball.
I wonder if there's any thought into throwing this slider. I mean, he's been fastball changeup. He's been fouling off. Start that slider down the center of the plate and let it run down and in. And I'm not sure Ozuna's the type that, I'll leave it up to the next guy. He wants
absolutely free swinging.
He wants to drive these guys. He wants to drive himself and Gordon in.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gordon goes. The pitch outside, ball 3. Throw to second is not in time initially, but Cesar thinks that he may have come off the bag. He pointed to the dugout. Larry Bowa is on the phone. He went in pretty quickly. It looked like he held onto the bag, though. Hey, it doesn't look like he ever came off.
He's safe. Hey, 3-2. Don't you think a breaking ball would be a great pitch here?
Yeah, well, and then if you lose him, okay, then you got Real Muto to deal with.
I think you can get a swing on it, to be honest with you.
Swing and a miss. He got him with the breaking ball. Ozuna is down on strikes. Morgan wins the battle. He strikes out 3. And the Marlins leave one in scoring position again. They've left 9 so far. Well, John, you called for it. He finally threw it. And he works out of this jam to take us to the 8th inning. Back to Giancarlo Stanton. It's all part of our Toyota turning point that Adam Morgan provided us.
Yeah, and our best relief pitcher over quite a long period of time. Here you see the fastball to Stanton, the changeup to Stanton, the slider to Yelich, and he finally threw a slider to Ozuna. And Adam Morgan has put in our turning point of the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Yeah, he had to use a lot of pitches, an awful lot of energy, and but man, he did a heck of a job. 1 earned run during the month of August for Adam Morgan, an ERA that's under .70 now.
And now I had to talk with him the other day. His confidence is through the roof. And you know, I just told him, I said, you're making it near impossible for them to want to go out and get a left-handed reliever.
Daniel Nava leads it off against Bear Claw and swings at the first pitch to start the 8th inning. And Ozuna comes running in, makes the one-handed grab. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
I got a feeling there might be a defensive replacement out in left field for Nava.
I would think so.
I think he's not moving well.
Although the choices are somewhat limited.
Kim?
Yeah.
He's been the one that's been going out there, right?
Yep. Yeah, they can make the double switch, which would allow them not to use another bench player if they want. So it looks like they're going to go to the bullpen for Garcia. There's Luis. John, if you need any of that drying agent, they left it in the bullpen. We can get some of it there.
I could put it in the back of my buddy's car Sunday, drive it back to home. I think Daniel Nava's getting ready to go up and get some ice. I mean, you saw him when he scored that run, wincing, and you know, Daniel Nava gives you good, honest effort, no matter if he pops up or not. He wasn't moving good on that fly out to Ozuna.
Swing and a miss. Broncos strikes out for the second time tonight. 2 outs here in the 8th. Oakland A's are coming to town to see the Phils. The renewal of the rivalry between the A's and the Phils. They never used to play each other except for maybe one exhibition game a year. Well, now they'll play a 3-game series on Sunday the 17th. All fans 14 and under, thanks to the good folks at Hers, will receive the Winter Aviator hat. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Phillies and the A's used to play what they call the City Series each and every year from the early 1900s to the mid 1900s before the A's moved out to Kansas City. And now they face each other with interleague play from time to time.
I hope Oakland brings some of their colorful unis.
Yeah.
I think the game should go back to that. I'd be all for that.
All the uniforms?
I love those.
Pirates, Indians.
In the 70s when the Pirates would mix and match their, they one day they'd go all black on the road, and one day they'd go, black with the gold shirt, and then they go,
stripes and solids.
Yeah. with that, what is that hat called? Can't think of the name of those hats.
Pillbox hat.
Yeah, I love those.
Three and two to Flormone. And he's down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bearclaw. He has an inning in the 3rd scoreless in relief. We played 7.5. It's time for the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phils still up 3-2 over the Marlins. Love It Every Day tour is coming to Citizens Bank Park on Friday, September 8th. Special guests include Brett Eldridge and Craig Campbell. Tickets can be purchased, and there are still some available, by going to Phillies.com/Luke Bryan. Well, that's our line score for today's ball game. We're on to the bottom of the 8th inning. As John mentioned, Kim will come on to play left field for the Phils. And Luis Garcia is the new pitcher. The first pitch is in there for strike to JT Realmuto. Numbers on a Garcia: 2.81 ERA. 2. Good slider. And he went. Real Muto says you got to check it. Brian Gorman says you don't have to. Real Muto's down on strikes.
There's some hooting from the dugout right now.
What'd you think there, John?
It was close, but we'll take it.
Yeah, that's the best split I think he's thrown in a while. Derek Dietrich is 1 for 3.
Got robbed his last at bat. You remember Cesar, that great play Cesar made in shallow right field.
Check swing. No, says Brian Gorman. They appeal. Lance Barksdale says no. And somewhere in the dugout says, now you check. Marlins dugout, that is.
Yeah, I just don't see why you would take the argument out of it and just check it every time.
Popped up. Franco will give it a look. It's going to be back in the crowd.
There isn't a lot of foul territory here, is there? Doesn't look like that much from the third base line to those seats. Not like Oakland.
No, this is an enormous place, but the footprint didn't allow for a whole lot of room field-wise.
Candlestick had a lot.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Dodger Stadium used to have a lot.
Yeah, before they put all those seats in.
Think about some of the older facilities, just how much room they had. I never saw a game in Cincinnati. I thought that place had a good amount of foul territory. I guess probably the same amount as Pittsburgh in the bed. But it looked like it was even a little bit more.
Fastball away. If he hits it out to left, he hits it out to left, but you don't want to walk him right here.
And ball 4. Talese is coming up as a pinch hitter. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, it's time for our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. The Angels, well, they're making a move after going 18-10 in the month of August. They have crawled to within 1.5 games of the American League wild card. So today they made a trade for an all-star. Justin Upton is headed out there to Anaheim, coming over from the Tigers. Upton batting .279 with 28 home runs for the Tigers this season, and he will fill in the middle of that Anaheim lineup very nicely, they hope, as they make their stretch run down here in the month of September. So the Angels not giving up. And how about what happened for the very first time to the Los Angeles Dodgers just this today? They lost their 3rd straight to the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's the first time they've been swept in a 3-game series this season. They've actually lost 5 games in a row now, but they still have a monster lead out there in the National League West, so no worries from Los Angeles. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, well, they are in command of that wild card spot in the National League. They have a big series with Colorado coming up, and Zach Greinke becomes the first 16-game winner in Major League Baseball this season with that win today. So a lot happening good for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers, well, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, you wonder if and we know it doesn't always carry over. But if it creeps into the Dodgers' head, or it gives the Arizona Diamondbacks, if they happen to face the Dodgers, which they would if they beat whoever the wild card team is in that one-game playoff, although you never know. But if you wonder if there's a sense of confidence.
Absolutely. And you think about it. Let's say it's Arizona, whoever, Colorado, in the wild card, and Zach Greinke pitches the wild card game, and they win. They still got Robbie Ray. Patrick Corbin has been fantastic lately. And you got two lefties going against these Dodger.
An errant throw by Garcia. Rounding third and heading for home is Dietrich. The throw to the plate by Williams. And now they're going to say that the base runner interfered with Rhys Hoskins. So Dietrich will have to go back, and Talise is out. Brian Gorman made the signal. He said, hold on, guys. Let's not throw this ball around. At least that's what I think the signal is. Here comes Don Mattingly. Dietrich's going to the dugout. I don't think he realizes it yet. So Talise, they're saying, was out of the baseline. So he's automatically out, and then Dietrich has to go back. Wow, what a game changer that is.
I was wondering what Cameron was doing. The ball just rifled past him from Nick Williams. Let's see where Talise is on this play. I mean,
he's way
gracious.
out. I didn't even realize it when it happened. He's way
that
out.
Ain't even close.
Yeah, so that's the right call by Brian Gorman. So that means Dietrich has to go back to first base.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Cameron Repstone, you got to go back to first base, buddy. So the put out, well, it's the second out of the inning. That is a huge break for the Phillies. And honestly, based on the rule, I mean, Brian Gorman got it right. I mean, Talise was nowhere near the line. What a break.
No, I mean, that's, Donnie Mattingly, I think he just went out kind of just to give it that token, let me go out and see what's going on. But they have the perfect angle in their dugout right there. And I mean, he didn't even make an attempt to get back in. But here's where it confused me. Watch this. Dietrich's running. He gets smoked in the wrist.
Oh yeah, Cameron. You're right.
Yeah,
Cameron didn't do anything.
Didn't even move. I'm like, what's he doing? I don't know if he thought that Rhys cut it off or what, but.
Telling Rhys right now what happened.
Good move by Cameron. Take one with you,
Oh, that is just an amazing break for the Phillies. And now Rojas up the third base line. Foul. 0-1.
Not only is it huge, but it makes Dietrich all the way back to first. If he gets back in and they throw him out, Dietrich's still on second, where a base hit can score him. Now it's going to take an extra base hit with 2 outs to bring him in. What did you think Talise was thinking? I mean, at some point, don't you realize you're not on dirt?
Yeah, you got to get. If you get back and establish the baseline, okay, you're okay.
Yeah.
But you can get back halfway up.
Yeah, I thought he was going to charge him out for a second. Then he decided to veer off the first.
Over to the left side. Galvis has it. Sweeps it out to second in time. And the inning is over.
Huge.
The Phillies maintain a 1-run lead. Well, there have been a lot of instances where breaks have happened for the Phils, but they certainly got a break in this 8th inning. Good call by Brian Gorman based on the rule. Talise running up the line on the grass. And Brian Gorman decides that he was out of the baseline. The inning is over. Your $15 ticket also gives you a $12 food voucher for Chickies and Pete's, Tony Luke's, Primo's Hoagies, or for a hot dog and a soda. It's good for all home games in September. So you come to the ballpark, you buy a ticket for $15, then essentially you get $27 worth coming to the yard. Phillies.com/studentsteal is where you can get it. Well, Talise will stay in the ball game and play first base for the Marlins. Brad Ziegler is in, with the Phillies up by 1 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Oh, and 2. That got a piece of Real Muto.
Tell you what, Real Muto's had an interesting day today, hasn't he? Lively hit him twice. Yeah. Foul tip.
Swing and a miss. And 1 away here in the 9th inning. Kim hits it foul, and it's down the left field line. 0-1. Neris warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. 1-1 to Kim. Kim on the year hitting .223. On the outside corner, 1-2. Well, that's a tough pitch.
He's got to be thinking, man, this National League tough place to hit. Although his last couple at bats yesterday, he had a double and a triple.
Out toward left field. Ozuna on the run. And he runs it down for the 2nd out. Coming up after the ballgame, Michael Barkan and Ricky Metallico are standing by to talk about this one between the Phils and the Marlins. We'll talk about Lively through 6 innings and what he was able to accomplish. Morgan with a key 7th inning appearance. All that more coming up on Phillies Postgame Live.
Well, the bad thing is Stanton's going to get another crack at it. Just have to hope that
over to the right side. Talise flips to Ziegler covering, and Cesar is out. Mickey says put the headphones on and check that one out. Good hustle by Cesar to speed up that line. Larry Boa on the horn. And we'll see if they decide to challenge this one. Hector's waiting to come into the ball game. Larry Boa just said he's out. So 3-1 on the putout. 1-2-3. Go the Phils. Here comes Hector Neris in a 1-run game. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Phillies have 1-1-2-3 inning. That came in the 4th inning. Hopefully Hector can fire one up here. Morgan has a scoreless inning in relief of Ben Lively. So does Luis Garcia. Lively went 6. He allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs.
Yeah, Ben Lively battled. You know, you talk about the start that Nick Pivetta had his last outing and gave up 3 in the first, and you thought, boy, here's going to be a blowout, and they held him there through 5 innings at just those 3 runs, and Phillies ended up getting a win. And Ben Lively battled through today. Early command issues, but he kept his team in the game, gave us a chance, and now we're 3 outs away from post-game live. You want to do it tonight?
No, I think that you are in perfect position to do it. You're going to break down a few plays, a few tough innings. And Aviles is hit by a pitch. Well, that is the 3rd batter that's been hit tonight. Real Muto was hit twice.
Nothing Aviles could do. Throw it right at his rib cage and can't get out of the way.
And D. Gordon's coming up. Gordon is 2 for 3 tonight with a walk. His numbers against Neris.
I wonder if he'll try to bunt for a hit,
which is what he did earlier in the game in the 5th inning. Lays off 1-0. And a line drive base hit to left field. And now you bring Stanton up with runners on 1st and 2nd and nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. All you can do as a manager is give your closer the baseball and hope for the best.
Yeah. Go back and stand in the tunnel and hope you hear boos at the end of the inning. Unless you're at home, of course.
Right. Phillies are 16-31 in 1-run games. They're trying to get number 17 here, not number 32.
Hey, we haven't been playing many lately, have we?
No, we lost. The Phillies lost 9-8 to the Marlins back on the 24th. 5-4 to the Giants on the 17th. But they haven't been as common in August as they had been. Stanton tonight is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Out to center field. Playable for Florimon. Aviles is tagging at 2nd. Gordon's tagging at 1st. The throw goes to 2nd. Would you have gone there if you were Aviles?
Well, Florimon did the right thing. He came up throwing to try to keep the double play in order. I thought Aviles just might take off once you take a few steps and you see if he's throwing behind you, keep going. But thank goodness. But this hasn't been the crispest of games, but this is a good play by Florimon. See, he gets behind it, he comes up, and he's throwing to keep the double play in order, which is smart.
Swing and a miss.
Well, you talk about making a save tougher than expected. You know, you hit the first guy, give up a hit, and then, all right, now you got Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna. Only like 400 RBIs between the 3.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Back-to-back splits, one harder than the other.
Yeah. Might as well toss up another one.
Out toward left field. Coming on is Kim, and he dives and makes the catch.
Woo.
2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Well, that defensive replacement.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, depending on where Nava was playing, could he have broke in and made that catch?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, Kim kind of broke on this one pretty good. I mean, as soon as that ball was hit, I thought, oh, no, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, Kim, he closed out pretty good on that one. We'll take it. How about a more traditional out?
Yeah, let's have a ground ball right back to the mound and an easy throw to first.
Or to Freddie.
Yeah, either way. Pitch to Ozuna. Fastball low. Ozuna tonight is 1 for 4. A single and a run scored, reached on an error in the 3rd, flied out and struck out. Oh for 11 against Neris. Up high, 2-0.
The raucous crowd here yelling, getting the Ozuna.
Harris just tossed that ball to the camera well.
Trying to hit Murph down there?
I don't know. Ball 4. He just walked him on 4 pitches. Well, Mama said there'd be days like this.
Tell you what, I like Cameron Rupp right there. He went out, put his shoulder around Hector. He said, "Come on now, me and you right now, let's go."
Yeah, you can hear it.
Little, wasn't it? And it wasn't like, you know, come on, buddy, old pal. You know, it was, you know, without cursing, he cursed at him. Does that make sense?
I got you. All right, so it's Real Muto that's coming up with the bases loaded. He's been hit by a pitch twice.
You know, when Mitch Williams did all this walking the bases loaded stuff, I seem to be a lot more calm than I am now.
Really, over at first base, you're able to keep your nerves?
Well, I knew I could do something if they hit it to me. Didn't mean I'd always catch it, but up here, you're just kind of helpless.
Good speed, obviously, at second base. That is the winning run. The tying run is at 3rd. And the pitch to Real Muto. A fastball outside. It's 1-0.
I didn't like that body language of Hector right there. He looked like he was hoping that was a strike.
Harris's last save came on the 27th. One ball, one strike.
It has been a tough day for old Real Muto, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
I hope he don't get hit by a pitch here.
Foul tip. And now 1-2. Marlins have left 10. They left them loaded in the 2nd and the 3rd. Inside. Oh man, wow. It nearly hit him. It's 2-2.
I think Real Muto's upset it didn't hit him.
I think he was thinking after it happened, and why didn't I just lean in?
Oof. He leaves that elbow there. That might hit it.
Now Rupp goes back out. You want a well-located fastball here? You want to split?
I like a split.
Marlins have lost their last 3. The Phils are trying to tag another one on their loss column. Todd Mattingly's team 5.5 out of the second wild card spot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Real Muto with the bases loaded. And a fastball on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Hector Neris works into a jam and then works himself out of the jam. And the Phils win it 3-2 over the Miami Marlins. Real Muto goes down looking on strikes with the bases loaded. The Marlins leave them loaded 3 times tonight. And here's that final pitch by Hector Neris. I don't know what Real Muto was looking for. Maybe he thought changeup. It's a strike right on the outside part of the plate.
Perfect pitch.
The Phils start this long road trip with a victory. Well, it wasn't easy, John.
Well, and it wasn't pretty.
No.
But you know what? At the end of the day,